Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson. I genuinely think it's one of the best divorce/breakup albums ever made and doesn't get enough attention. Her vocals are fire. Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson Deluxe because it's simply incredible. Yeah, so this is an album I wasn't really planning on making a video on, but now that people are coming in my comment section saying it's really underrated, it does make me curious and it makes me want to listen to it. So let's check out Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Beth if you are new here, and I like to talk about music. Today we have an album called Chemistry by Kelly Clarkson. So this was not an album I was planning on covering just because, I don't know, I haven't been really into Kelly's sound in the recent years. I did like a couple of her albums when they originally came out, but I just don't really listen to her anymore, so that's the only reason that I wasn't planning on covering it. However, Kelly Clarkson will always be dear to me because I fell in love with her album Breakaway when I was younger, and that was like the first album I ever really loved. That album is paramount to the pop experience. Kelly will always have a special place in my heart. I think she's incredibly talented. Her vocals, her tone of voice is gorgeous. It's not that I didn't want to react to this album. I think it came out at a bad time when a lot of other music was coming out, and so I was like, if it was the only album coming out right now, I might listen to it, but I have all these other things going on. But now that I have a second to breathe, I do kind of want to check it out because a lot of you guys have been saying it's very underrated. People are sleeping on it. It's a gorgeous divorce album. I know about Kelly's divorce, and it made me really sad because I always think back to her writing the song, I think it was called Piece of Me, where she talks about how he was the man to make her believe in love again after I think her father left her. Like, yeah, the lyrics of that song are just really, really beautiful and really, really, really heartbreaking in retrospect. The first track is called, oh, I love So Soft. Can we just take a minute? The first track is actually called Skip This Part. So I feel like maybe it's gonna immediately be really sad because she's like, skip this part, like this isn't important. It's just me being like, I don't know. I really don't know. There is a collab with Steve Martin and a collab with her daughter, River Rose. So that is probably gonna get me in my feels. Red Flag Collector is definitely really intriguing to me. I'm really excited for that one, although I feel like it might be really sad. So anyway, skip this part, but I can't really skip it because I mean, it's part of the album.
Can I skip this part? When I fall to pieces back, if I could escape all this hurt and this pain, oh, I would. I'd like to skip this part. Cuts you so deep when it feels like the end. I'd like to skip.
Love that build.
I'd like to skip.
What's immediately really interesting about this song is it's obviously sad. It's immediately really hitting with the lyrics. I mean, just the whole idea of like, I want to skip this part. It's too painful. Can I just move on to the next good moments of my life? You know, a lot of people are going to relate to this song, but the sound of the song, it has this sway to it that almost feels like a fairy tale, which is really interesting because obviously this is like the opposite of a fairy tale song. It's saying like, our fairy tale has ended. I just want my happy ever after. It's very jarring because I kind of want to sway to this song, and it puts me in a good mood because it's so nice to listen to, but the lyrics are incredibly heartbreaking. So it just feels a little bit like a paradox.
Are you happy?
I feel like you could also slow dance to this song with someone. Again, kind of paradox.
Why did she leave him? If I could escape all this gossip and shame.
That's really heartbreaking, like when you really think about that.
Skip this part.
Like that drop down feels so fairy tale and like dream world kind of, and
I'm real good at forgiving, but my heart can't forget the ache before the man.
Really love that line.
I feel every break as I realize my fate. I succumb to the taste of betrayal. I try numbing the pain with my sweet Mary Jane.
This is a really abrupt change in tone. I mean, night and day. Ooh, that was a really interesting song because again, I felt that paradox. Like the sound and the lyrics feel like they're at war with each other, which is really interesting. And then there was that abrupt change where I thought the song was over, but then it dropped and I feel every break as I realize my fate. I succumb to the taste of betrayal. Almost her accepting, I do have to kind of deal with this. Like I can't skip this part because the whole song she's like, I'm just gonna escape. Like I just want to move on. And then there's that abrupt change and it's like, I feel every break. Like suddenly she's feeling what she's been trying not to feel. She's been trying to numb herself, but it hasn't worked out in the end. I realize my fate, you know, kind of coming to terms with the fact that she has to deal with this pain, even though she wants to skip it, she can't. That's not how life works. I know this escape isn't stable. She knows smoking weed is not going to be the thing that is going to make all her problems go away, but she just wants to escape it. She just wants to numb herself. I do think objectively it was really beautiful. There were some really beautiful lines, kind of cut right to the heart. Kelly's voice is beautiful. A lot of pain in her voice as well. And yeah, I'm used to her kind of making fun music and this is gonna be a different vibe, I think. But the next song is Mine. I have heard good things about this song, but I have not listened to it. I haven't listened to any of these songs, so.
You know I question every motive, everything you say. Thought with you maybe my heart wasn't meant to break. I stay, yeah.
Ooh, I love that production.
And right when you think that it's perfect, they cross the line and steal your shine like you did mine. Go ahead and break my heart, that's fine. So unkind, eternal sunshine of the spotless mind.
Whoa, this is really different for her, is it not?
Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used like you did mine.
I honestly can't decide how I feel about this. This is so different for her.
I hope one day someone will take your heart and hold it tight, make you feel like you're invincible deep inside. And right when you think that you'll try again, they cross the line.
Yeah, this is really sad when you really think about it. I mean, the idea of someone making you feel so secure in your relationship, making you feel like this is it, this is the one, I'm gonna be with this person forever, and then all of that kind of going away, I think is just, it's such a heartbreaking concept, which I knew this album was gonna be sad, but
Like you did mine.
I kind of love that. I don't know. I kind of love that melody. It's weird, but I kind of like it.
Was it all a lie? Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used. And you keep talking, it'll come back.
Every time I think I know what's coming, it's the opposite of what I think.
Sabotage your choice of art. Who the hell do you think you are?
Oh, I loved that bridge. Lyrically and sonically, I love the bridges already. I know it's been 2 songs, but the bridge in the first song too. I just love the switch up, like the abrupt, you don't see it coming and then all of a sudden it hits. I mean, that's probably how she feels too, is like she was just living her life super happy with this person. I mean, for a period of time, right? And then all of a sudden, she never could have seen it coming, and it's like this wave of grief and pain. And the lyrics too, sabotage your choice of art. Love that line. Who the hell do you think you are? Go ahead and break my heart, that's fine. Bringing it back, like, whatever, go ahead and break my heart. I don't care. I don't know why they divorced. I don't know why they broke up, obviously. I don't know her personal life, but it does sound like he was trying to use her. Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used. Love is blind. It's giving the show. Love is blind. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. I love that line as well. I really love like the really specific lines that just feel like really on the nose to what's going on. I think it paints the picture really well. Like sabotage your choice of art. That's a great line. I love that like echoey.
Spotless mind.
Yeah, no, I kind of love this. I really do.
Someone's gonna show you how a heart can be used.
I love that high
You
note.
didn't mind.
Yeah, I love that ending too. Like going up to the high note and then bringing it back down. It was just stunning. I actually really liked that by the end of the song. It was definitely one of those songs that I was like, okay, because it felt very different for her. It felt like a completely different Kelly Clarkson. Lyrically made sense. Sonically, I was just like, this is completely different for her from what I've heard from her. Really loved it by the end. I feel like it was a very unique song. It was really cool when you really think about it. It was really cool. It was kind of weird. Like, to be completely honest, I think it's kind of a weird song, but it's kind of an amazing song because it's weird. It's unique, it's different, it's not what you're expecting, and I think that's more interesting to listen to. It's more engaging than something that's very predictable and you just know exactly where it's gonna go. The next track is High Road. I want to say she has another song. Yeah, she has a song called Go High on Meaning of Life that's kind of about like, I'm gonna take the high road even if you don't take the high road. So I'm wondering if this is gonna be the same theme.
When I was young, my mother showed me to become strong. You had to only cover your fears. Don't show you're lonely.
Go High.
Now walk the high road where nobody else is tread.
Yeah.
And now I'm older.
That transition. Oh, I love the drums in this song. As far as everything else, yeah, I'm not really connecting to the sound of this one yet, but I love those drums and like the transitions are so cool. Lyrically, yeah, it feels like Go High Part 2.
Don't try to fight it.
Perform for no one. That's an interesting line. There are some experimental things happening right now.
It's just my ego and my pride.
Love the bridges on this album.
When I'm hiding, it's incognito, so everybody thinks I'm a hero. And I walk the high road.
Oh, I live my life in disguise. When I'm hurting, it's incognito, so everyone thinks I'm a hero. So yeah, the whole sentiment of hiding your feelings so that everyone thinks you're super strong and super brave. And that's something I will say about Kelly. I mean, she is an emotional person, but she always has seemed so strong to me and so brave and so confident. And I think she's kind of revealing that that's not necessarily how she actually feels on the inside. You know, she puts up this shell that she is really confident and just everything's fine and everything is not really fine. And I mean, that's a common thing to do. It's really hard to be vulnerable and to be honest with where you are at emotionally, especially when people downplay it. Going back to, you know, when I was young, my mother showed me to become strong, you only had to cover your fears. Don't show you're lonely. The way we were raised is also a huge indicator of how we act when we're older, when we are, you know, when we're feeling those emotions. It's important to realize that we can be sad and we can be lonely and we can show those emotions. I don't know, sonically, I had mixed feelings throughout that song. Potentially a grower, potentially just not my favorite song. I love the bridge. The bridges on this album, I really hope they continue to be good because I will add her to the list of bridge queens. The next one was also a single, I think. It's called Me.
Buried myself into somebody else.
Oh, it's about finding herself.
I lived my life without me.
She got so lost in the relationship, she lost herself.
Put my life on hold for.
Ooh.
I'm always pleasing someone. Honestly, now I'm done.
Good for you.
I don't need somebody to hold me. Don't need somebody to love me. Don't need somebody.
Vocal.
Fly. I told you I
Runs. Yeah, I feel like in any kind of relationship, but especially a marriage, it can probably, I mean, I don't know because I'm not married, but I imagine it's very easy to kind of get so lost in the relationship that you lose sight of yourself. And that's not me hating on marriage. I think marriage is an amazing thing, but not getting so wrapped up in the relationship that you forget to have your own hobbies, have your own interests, be your own person. I think it's got to be hard to maintain that balance between both, but I think it's vital to any relationship. I would imagine. I've never been married, but that's my takeaway.
don't need somebody to hold me.
Yeah, I love that.
Cause I don't need somebody to scold me.
Obviously, again, I don't know the story behind their divorce, but this song is giving me man-child energy. I had to hold your hand. You were very insecure. You had these issues that you were not addressing, and I then was affected by that, and it wasn't healthy for me. So that's interesting. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. Oh, I didn't know she could Ariana Grande up in here. Oh. Okay. Her vocals are beautiful. They're actually incredibly gorgeous. We all know Kelly can sing, obviously. I watched her on American Idol. Yeah, I mean, she just has a voice. She has a very powerful voice. She has a range that I think is underrated. But let's listen to Down to You. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like that organic, dark.
I heard you started running your mouth again, biting hands that feed you.
Ooh, I like this one.
Who are you to underestimate me? Smiling in my face as you take your aim.
Another boppy one. It's really sad.
Need somebody who can make me where I'm at. These dark days are knocking on my door. You ain't welcome around here no more. Need somebody who can make me where I'm at. These dark days.
Oh, I love that.
You can bring me down to you. Can bring me down.
Love the chorus of this one. Again, it feels really unique.
Must be cold in your veins.
Oh, the bridges on this album.
I don't wanna be your friend. Can't do that again. I can't dance with the devil on my back.
Oh.
Dark days are knocking on my door. You ain't welcome around here no more.
I kind of love this one.
Can't bring me down. You can't bring me down. Can't bring me down.
This is one of the catchiest ones.
Now I know you'll never change. Can't bring me down. You can't bring me down to you.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite so far. I was a bit conflicted during the verses because they just didn't, like, I didn't love them on the same level that I loved the chorus, but the chorus was super cool. It was super unique. It was kind of giving me, I think it was mine. It just felt like a very unique song. Yeah, a little bit experimental, a little bit funky, just funky for her. Like, I think this is a little bit different for her, at least from the music that I've heard from her. But honestly, I'm not the Kelly Clarkson expert, so I could definitely be, missing something. Loved the bridge so much. The bridges on this album are my favorite aspect of it so far. I mean, every single bridge has just taken me out. I think they're so well written and something I really respect because I think it is very rare and very hard for an album to have really consistently strong bridges, and so I'm very impressed with that as far as the first half of this album. But the next song is actually the title track, Chemistry. Very curious about this one. I'm always curious about title tracks. I also like the title. I like the title of this album, and the artwork is pretty as well. She looks like she's surrendering almost. I don't know if that was the intention, but she kind of looks helpless at the same time. It's like this mixture of like, I'm helpless and I'm in pain, like what am I supposed to do? But also I'm surrendering to this, like, cause I have no other choice. So I don't know if that was intentional, but just kind of something I'm noticing.
You know I'm pretty much the worst with timing.
Okay, but why did she get rid of the guitar?
Take it back to nothing.
That's why she did. She wanted to strip it back.
I trust you and I don't trust me. You know chemistry can sneak up on you.
Yeah, I love
One
this.
day you can turn around
sorry.
and feel up. I can't help but want you, help but love you. How'd you get in here? Now you're something that I just can't resist. You know I've gotten really good at pretending.
It was like reverse.
Sometimes.
Okay, the production of this one is probably my favorite on the album so far. First of all, obviously the guitar. If you know me, I love a guitar. But then she actually stripped away the guitar and brought in this really rumbly and low, very subtle sound. And I was like, okay, but why did we get rid of the guitar? But then there were all these really cool walk downs as the song was going on that really stood out to me. And then, yeah, I don't know, I love I think this song is beautiful. It's kind of this confliction of like, I can't stay away from you because I'm just naturally attracted to you and we have this chemistry, but also like chemistry can be explosive. Like literal chemical experiments, they sometimes explode and are sometimes incompatible. It's complex. I just think it's beautiful too with her vocals. Like they're so intimate. They're so at the forefront. I think that's why it makes sense that the guitar isn't in the song anymore, because I think it might take away from like the intimacy of the vocals. Very honest as well, the songwriting. And the melodies are gorgeous. Like all around, love this one.
You don't mean a thing to me, I was dreaming. But then I closed my eyes and I'm right back falling for this hopeless one.
This one also feels kind of like a slow dance, fairy tale type song.
I wanna feel this forever inside.
That is dynamic production.
Oh, our chemistry cuts me deep.
Yeah. Yeah. I loved that song. I think it was absolutely stunning. I feel like for me, it was one of the best songs on the album so far. It worked in terms of the production. The lyrics were very honest and like, I don't know, the lyrics just really stood out. I think they were very unique. I love that last line too, but this whole idea of like, I'm gonna stay away from you because of our chemistry, but also I wanna be around you because of our chemistry. I just think that's a really cool concept.
Take me home tonight. Waiting for you.
This is an abrupt change.
There's no escape when you're a ghost of love. Favorite kind of high, rushing through me like a fire, and I need you to know.
This is an abrupt change, obviously, in the tone, in the sound, in everything. It's more boppy, it's more catchy. Lyrically, it's a completely different song. It sounds like she's talking about maybe a new relationship rather than, you know, talking about the divorce and talking about her relationship with her ex-husband. And maybe she wanted to give us a little bit of a reprieve after like stuffing our faces with all these different emotions of sadness and grief. Who's Rock Hudson?
When you're in the room, all I feel is you.
Is this like a little bit disco-y? Is this dance pop? Okay, what is up with that?
You're my favorite kind of high.
Bridge supremacy. Yeah, oh yeah, that.
High.
It's like a spaceship. Really like that one. Yeah, it's probably not my favorite. I was kind of just taken aback. I was kind of not sure what to do because I was like, I've been sad and listening to, you know, this very raw album so far, and now we're just bopping to a song that sounds like it's about a new relationship. But it was a welcome change. I think it was needed after all these very raw songs for her to give me a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather. And I'm curious about this next one. It's called Magic. I feel like it could be the same kind of vibe, or it could be back to like the raw, sad stuff. Like we only got one song that was a bop, and then now back to sadness. That is interesting.
Even though my heart is weak, even when my arms are empty, even if they don't believe, it doesn't mean I'm the fool, 'cause magic takes time.
Love that.
It's magic, my love.
Okay, this feels like another love song. Okay, so now we're kind of getting into some love songs. So I don't know if she's in a new relationship. I don't know if she just wanted to write some music that would make her feel better and be a reprieve from all the sadness and grief. But this is obviously just, again, a completely different tone, a lot more hopeful. Even though my heart is weak, even if I don't believe, it doesn't mean it's not true. Even though I'm black and blue, even when they tell me not to, even if I end up used, it doesn't mean I'm the fool. I absolutely love that line and the whole meaning behind the verse of saying, even if I feel one way, that doesn't mean it's true. A lot of power and a lot of strength in the verses. And then, yeah, the chorus is kind of just love vibes. Maybe this is the healing section of the album. Interesting that Chemistry is kind of the middle song. I mean, It's not, yeah, it's like the middle song is chemistry, and we did get that kind of double meaning. So it's possible that that was kind of a transition song. The first half of the album was maybe about the divorce, and then the chemistry song was kind of that middle ground of being like, I don't want to be with you, but I want to be with you. And maybe then the second half of the album is going to be about the new relationship and a positive form of chemistry. Because again, explosive and bad on one hand, and on the other hand, great and magical. So, but we will see if my theory is correct, because there's some songs coming up called Red Flag Collector and I Hate Love. So I do feel like maybe I'm wrong and maybe it's about to go back to the sad vibes. But I still think it's interesting.
It's magic,
You know. Okay, I really feel like, I don't know if it was intentional, but when she says it's magic, it sounds like she's about to say, it's magic, you know, never believe it's not so.
always you has been forever. Blurring lines I can't remember.
There's not been one bad bridge on this album, and I cannot express how rare that is.
Now my dad, I am laying at your feet. It's magic, it's magic.
You know, I really wanted to go into that song. I would say I like that one, especially the ending of the song was my favorite section. I would say I very rarely call someone a bridge king or queen, and on this album at least, Kelly Clarkson is a bridge queen. The next one is Lighthouse. Okay, maybe like a lighthouse of hope.
I need a do-over. How did we end up this way?
Or not.
Did I mistake love and pain? Ain't got no shine left.
Yeah, did I mistake love and pain? Again, going back to the dual themes of love and pain and chemistry and the two sides of it.
I didn't choose sober, but my eyes can't look away.
This one is gorgeous.
Like a wave, you're always crashing into me, crashing into me. And these days are harder than they used to be. What good's a lighthouse when the light is burning up?
This is kind of what I expected from this whole album. Just this very simplistic ballad-like sound. This is gorgeous. This is one of my favorites. It's just such a stunningly beautiful ballad. The vocals, the melodies, I think it works really well. I'm glad she's not bringing in a ton of like unexpected production, because I think that would take away from just how like intimate and beautiful it is. Because again, like, you know, thinking back to Skip This Part, I was like, there's this weird juxtaposition of like the production versus the like what the song is about. And this one kind of got rid of all that production that I didn't see coming and is just like really simplistic and the most basic, not basic in a bad way, but like the most straightforward ballad I think we've gotten. And I actually really love this one. I think it's stunning, and that's just objectively true.
Which road to take, 'cause your hands no longer.
Ugh.
Sometimes you walk away in order to survive.
Walking away from the chemistry in order to escape the explosion. I'm not gonna shut up about the scientific elements behind this album.
Like a chill in my bones when you say to me, I feel what we were washing over me, questioning everything all the time.
Ooh, the strings.
Yes, if I could do that, like a wave, you're always crashing into me, crashing in. No shooting stars can fix what we are and burn it out.
No. I loved that one. That was one of my favorites. Absolutely adored it and thought it was kind of the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. But I don't know who Rock Hudson is. I don't know if that's a place or a name or a rock named Hudson.
You were my Rock Hudson. It was real, but it wasn't.
Who's that? Oh.
Like a real life movie.
Okay, so he's an actor. Rock Hudson was an American actor, one of the most popular movie stars of his time. He had a screen career spanning more than 3 decades. All right, and he's kind of looks like Elvis. Okay.
Oh, reality is never quite as good as the dream.
Yeah, reality is never quite as good as the dream, so it's kind of about like fantasy versus reality. You were such a movie star in my mind, you know, you were the it guy, like you were my, you know, celebrity crush, and reality is not like the movies.
I don't care what they think. No, I won't.
This is a bop.
What good's a promise if you're never really honest? No, I won't dance anymore.
The chorus is amazing. It's one of the best choruses I've heard on this album.
Piece by piece, I found out my hero's me. Happiness doesn't mean smiling when it's your scene.
Happiness isn't smiling when it's your scene. Yeah, because happiness, if you're just smiling when you feel like you have to, that's fake. It's not your real emotions. Going back to, there's another song that this is reminding me of, but I can't remember. But just the idea of like hiding your emotions and all that. And I like it. Bar you set so high I couldn't even reach. Yeah, I love that one. That was also one of my favorites. One of the catchiest, one of the boppiest, one of the easiest to like sing along to. Again, kind of a stark difference between the tone and the sound of the first half of the album and the sound of the album now is just, the songs just sound more uplifting. I don't know if that was meant to be more uplifting because it was sad, like thinking about, you know, fantasy versus reality. Like I put you on this pedestal and thought you were the best guy in the world, but really, you know, that's not how it really was. And like deep down, I wasn't smiling. Like I was just smiling as an act maybe. So I don't know, but my mistake. Okay, great. The next few sound like they're gonna be really sad, so. These songs all start so abruptly. Like she wastes no time, which honestly is fine with me.
Must have been my mistake. Swore I heard you say till your dying day you would love me always. Imagination.
Okay, we're getting into the bops.
The night our home became just a house.
That line, you made our home a house. That's always gonna hit. Like that whole concept of this place that used to be so sacred and was gonna be our forever place is now just, it's just a building. Yeah, probably one of my least favorites sonically so far. I didn't really connect to the sound of it. At first I liked it because we were kind of bopping again, but then as it went on, it just didn't really stand out to me. The next song is Red Flag Collector. Been really curious about this one because I love that title. And I'm also wondering if it's gonna be really catchy or just like really sad or both. That was we are in the wild, wild west. Okay.
Sure, you can have the towels. You can take my money.
Okay, so it's like a cowboy Casanova kind of Western song. She definitely got a little bit experimental with this. She really said, I'm about to do some things that you just never saw coming.
As you run your mouth, puff your chest, play cowboy in the wild, wild west.
I mean, I'm adding it to my library, so.
Tell them all I'm crazy.
I think this one is just really throwing me for a loop, and so I'm not fully connecting as much as I think I would if I listened to it a few more times, because I already added it to my playlist. So that means that I feel like I like it enough that I think there's potential there. There is potential here. I really like the chorus. It's just not at all what I saw coming. It's a cool song. I just am like, okay.
Play cowboy in the
Love the chorus. No, I like the bridge. This song is just wild. Yeah, I added this to my playlist that I made for my friend who is in a toxic manipulative relationship because this is kind of the perfect anthem for that. Like you go ahead. You think you're the coolest person on the face of the earth. You can build yourself up as much as you want, but at the end of the day, you're just a red flag. As you run your mouth, puff your chest, play cowboy. I don't mind, you know best. Keep on riding till you can't see us. Like, just go away.
high road living is what I do best. Red flag collector drowning in your troubled seas.
Yeah. The next one is I Hate Love featuring Steve Martin. Love Steve Martin. But yeah, I'm interested in this one. Like a collaboration between them. I just can't really picture that. Is he gonna sing or is he just gonna play the banjo? Because I know he plays the banjo. I actually saw him live with Martin Short. They did this tour where they like made jokes and played songs. It was really cute. It was really fun. Love those two men with every fiber of my being. Like honestly, they're just my favorite duo. There's the banjo.
I hate love. It's a bitch sometimes. Mama, I'm sorry. sorry for using that word, but I only use it when it applies.
I love her for that line. I don't know. I just feel like there was so much of her personality in that line. You got me with that one, Kelly Clarkson.
Why do you smell so good? You know I love that cologne. Why do
I kind of like this one.
beat my head against the wall? Little by little you took it all. Love's no friend of mine.
I think this is just, it's so relatable to, I mean, it just is. The whole concept of like, I hate love. I know I shouldn't. I don't want to be jaded. I don't want to, you know, feel this cynicism, but I just do. I can't see past this. And also just hating the whole way that love is represented in movies and TV shows, where it is this very romanticized thing. I just saw the next line is
In the Notebook lied. It's complicated, it's more like what happens so you can keep Gosling and I'll take Steve Martin.
I love this one. It's so fun. I love the honesty in this one, like the honesty in the lyrics and just the really specific lines. Like again, the bitch line and the Steve Martin line. I love how she kind of laughed as she said it. It just felt like I can imagine them in the room together recording this, and I just love that. I love how she said, you can take Gosling. Like, you can take this unrealistic expectation of love. No hate to Ryan Gosling. I love that man. He absolutely killed it, and he is Knuff. But as far as, like, the Notebook and everything, like, you can take your unrealistic expectations of love, and I'll keep the real thing. I like the banjo a lot. It's different. It's kind of like Red Flag Collector. I feel like at the end of this album, she's just kind of going off and just getting a little bit experimental. It almost feels like she just doesn't care at this point what anyone thinks about the sounds that she's using. And so that's kind of fun. I like that for her.
Love's no friend of mine.
Yeah. Love her high notes, love the bridges.
Kinda did this to myself.
I'm just picturing Steve in the studio strumming his little banjo, and it just makes my heart very happy. I love you, Steve Martin.
So I'm tapping out.
I hate love. I hate love. I think that was one of the best ones on the album, probably. Just so catchy, so fun. I like the different sound. It was unique. Loved Steve's little banjo moment, and just the lyrics were relatable AF. But yeah, the last track, at least on the non-deluxe, is That's Right, featuring Sheila E. How are we gonna end this album? Like, is it gonna be hopeful? Is it gonna be sad? Is it gonna be a mixture? Which would make the most sense, again, going back to chemistry and the whole double-sided.
Take your hurtful words. They won't stick and I won't chase them. I won't have your turns out. I like to do things that you don't, that's right. I like the ocean, that's right. I sink my
This has an island feel to it. It has that like beachy feel. I immediately got that energy right when the chorus hit, and then she said, I like the ocean. This does kind of feel like another independence anthem. Like, I like doing what I like, and I am going to move on after this relationship. I wanted to skip it originally, but I am getting past it. I am realizing what makes me happy. I really feel like I'm on a beach.
I ain't no damsel boy, me standing here. Keep your tame white horse away from all my wild Mustangs. I miss myself, it's been a while.
Ooh, very much I'm finding myself again after this type of song. I love that energy. I love that line, keep your tame white horse away from my wild Mustangs. Because again, a white horse, thinking back to Fearless Taylor's version, I don't have it on my wall, so I don't know why I'm pointing. The idea of waiting for a white horse. Obviously Taylor Swift did not create that concept, but that's just what I would think of when I hear that term. Like, I'm waiting for my guy on a white horse. I hope he comes on a white horse. It's this romanticized concept, kind of going back to Rock Hudson, this whole romanticized version of love that's not real. She said, keep that away from me. That's too tame for me. I actually want something more. So I think that's really cool. I love that whole vibe and I just love that line so much.
You and I, that's right. I like the ocean.
I love that. It's so catchy. Why have the last few been some of the catchiest?
Found myself in ocean eyes. That's right.
I really like that as an album closer. It was super catchy, very uplifting. I figured there would be some sense of hope to the last song on this album. Production as well was really interesting and like uplifting and fun. Some trumpets, beachy feels, and yeah, I think it portrayed like the meaning of the song well. I mean, a beach being a symbol of like freedom and kind of just doing what you want and relaxation, right? I think I will check out the Deluxe. I am only going to be listening to 5 more songs. I'm not going to be doing mine live or the remix or anything like that. But so the next one is I Won't Give Up. I've really liked the last few songs on this album, have been some of my favorites. So that's made me curious about the Deluxe. I'm also really curious to hear the feature with her daughter because I feel like that one's going to take me out. But I hope these are good. I'm very hit or miss with Deluxe tracks.
It took a minute, forgiveness, some work, but I did it. Now I'm standing here, almost gave in to the dark, but it turns out the light in me won't disappear.
I love that. And I think this album can apply to many different situations, even if you haven't been through divorce or a bad breakup. I mean, these lyrics are universal. We've all been through experiences where we just want to move on to the next thing that's happy in our lives and not deal with any of it. And it does feel like the darkness is closing in, but it is possible to find that light, and it takes a lot of time and work and sacrifice and all these things, but it is possible to achieve. And sooner or later, you'll start to see like little bits of the light, and then all of a sudden you'll start to see more and more of the light. I'm looking outside at the window because there's light outside. And like I say this, but like some days I feel the complete opposite. So.
And I won't let all the damage of what we were define what I deserve.
This is really pretty too.
I won't give up, even if it kills me tonight.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Give up on a dream of you and I.
Oh wait, she changed the lyrics. She changed it from saying I won't give up, meaning I won't give up from healing, to I give it up, give up on my dream of you and I. I think that was a really cool switch up. This idea of surrendering in order to not surrender. Again, the duality of chemistry.
Kingdoms are built to protect what's within, but your walls were built too steep for me.
Kingdoms are built to protect what's within, but your walls were built too steep for me. I've seen this on a lot of the albums I've been listening to recently, but this whole idea of like a castle built and then it's crumbling. Interesting. I don't know. I just keep seeing it come up on album after album.
I want love that feels like home, and deep inside of me, I feel the storm awakening.
Yeah.
I won't give up.
I kind of want to sing this like live on tour. Ooh, the bridges, even on the Deluxe.
We're all worthy of love in this life.
Yeah. I feel like I'm being taken to church. One thing I will say about Kelly and just like her voice, her personality, it's very nurturing. It's very comforting. It's very soothing. She does have this way of making you feel like everything's gonna be okay. If Kelly Clarkson can tell me that I'm gonna be okay, then I will be okay. Because Kelly Clarkson, at the end of the day, do I feel like she's my mother? I'm not gonna say no. Cut off and, fade out. Okay, loved it. I'm very hit or miss with Deluxe tracks, but I actually love that one.
Did you know I was a Goonie and my favorite color's green?
Me too.
And my girls all flocked to boy bands. Jagged Little Pill was my jam. Did you?
I'm glad I checked out the Deluxe. This is really interesting.
My tension 6 feet down. And I was right there. You should have tried listening.
Didn't see the chorus going in this direction.
Did you really know me? Yeah, my favorite band is Toadies. Bet you couldn't name one song.
Toadies? Yeah, it's a band. Known for the song Possum Kingdom.
Some people don't mind being alone. Did you know the control is a disease? You said
Okay, it does sound like he may have, I don't know, because I don't know their relationship, but it sounds like she has revealed that he was a bit controlling in the relationship. I mean, especially this song saying, did you know that control is a disease? You say you see it now. Did you know that your words are on repeat, intention 6 feet down? Like, your words are still echoing through my head even though we are not together anymore and I'm not around you. Intention 6 feet down. Like, it doesn't matter what you meant because your words impacted me. Did you really know me? I think my camera cut me off, but when she said, I never wanted to go, but I deserve more than a ring on my hand, I said, preach. Yeah, she didn't want to get divorced.
Did you really know me, boy?
Did you really know me, boy? Like, this man was a grown man. But the next one is featuring her daughter, River Rose. You Don't Make Me Cry. I feel like this is gonna be just bops. More uplifting songs than some of the songs at the start of the album.
Dun, 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 dun.
The auto-tune, hello?
Ga, ga, ga.
Can I re-listen to that? That was kind of really funny and iconic, I'm not gonna lie.
Ga, ga, ga.
Ga, ga, ga.
I don't even know why my name's in your mouth, but I think I'm getting to the truth. Think you're in it for me? Nothing you say is making sense today. You don't make me cry.
Hyra, ooh.
And I cry at everything. You don't make me feel, and I feel more than most. Now that says something, doesn't
Ooh.
it? So I'm feeling free since I found out you don't have power.
Okay, this might be one of my favorite songs on the entire album. First of all, it's so catchy. Second of all, I love the line, you don't make me cry, but I cry at everything, because I feel that on a spiritual level. You don't make me feel, and I feel everything super deeply. I can relate to that. It's such a good line. I mean, it's simple, but it's effective. Like, it just works so well, and it's uplifting, and it's moving on, it's independence. Yeah, I can imagine this album being really healing to anyone who's gone through a divorce. I mean, not just a divorce, but I feel like this album can be applied to so many different things. Breakups, other events in life that are unpleasant, so.
Well, you can't have mine.
This is just so catchy. Like, what is up with these deluxe tracks?
But high horses fall too. You don't make me cry.
High horses.
And I cry at everything.
The baby. Sorry, she's not a baby, but she's young. I just want to say that I feel for Kelly and that everything she's gone through, and especially for her kids too. I mean, she has 2 young children, and you know, putting her daughter on this song I think is really sweet. And I love it when artists include their kids in their songs or just talk about their children in songs. It always gets me in my feels, like every single time. Hi guys, I'm so sorry. I started to feel really sick during my reaction, had to step away for a bit, but I have returned. I'm feeling much better, and I'm going to be listening to the last 2 tracks on the deluxe version of this album, Goodbye and Roses. So the first of the last 2 is Goodbye.
You didn't destroy me, though you tried. I am a flame. I get this one life, and I won't give you mine. Goodbye.
That delivery is really pretty.
And I've cried an ocean between you and me. Goodbye. Thought you were different, but you held your aim.
I love how she's singing so in the pocket for her voice. She sounds.
That's when you're not what you say. You're not what you say.
What? I don't think that note even exists.
You know you try. You think about me.
I don't know how I feel about like the echoing background vocal vibes. Yeah, there's definitely some kind of experimental decisions that were made on this album. At least like, again, from the Kelly I know, it feels just a little bit different than what I'm used to from her. I could definitely be wrong because I haven't listened to every single song she's ever released. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about those decisions. I don't know how I feel about this song. It has its moments. I just don't think it's my favorite song.
You get no prize. I get this one.
The vocals The vocals are gorgeous, though. I do have to say, like, this is probably one of the best vocally.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I kind of like that. The bridges again. I'm not gonna stop talking about the bridges because they're all good. Really loved her delivery of the word goodbye. I just thought it was like so satisfying. But we're on the last track. It is called Roses. Curious about this one. Is it going to be kind of another independence anthem? Like, I can buy myself flowers, like you don't need to buy me roses? Or, you know, perhaps it's gonna go back to some of the more like emotional, sad parts of the album? I'm not sure yet. Really like that production.
Your hand, I held it and I felt it slipping over time. For some things you just can't hide.
I don't know why I got Kesha vibes from the vocals.
It's too late for roses, they'll die in a day.
These vocals with that production.
That we're breaking, we can't be saved. There ain't enough roses, no.
I really like the sound of this one. She has such a pure vocal tone, like it's actually insane. She probably has one of the most pure voices I've ever heard. It's so clean.
I was so patient, chances wasted, had to draw a line.
This dynamic production, yes ma'am.
You can't put a band-aid on the way that we're breaking.
Band-aids don't fix bullet holes.
With chains, so don't waste your money. Roses, no, there ain't enough roses.
Super catchy, already singing along.
And every day I miss you less. How does
Bridge.
There's nothing even left.
Come, bridge.
I don't like your kind of love. There's nothing left to say. Keep your words, you never mean them anyway. Till one day there's nothing left. It's too late for.
This one's a banger, straight up.
No, in enough.
Yeah. No, why were the bonus tracks sincerely some of the best songs I heard on this album? At least that's my initial impression. This was a really long album, and so honestly, it's really hard to even remember how I felt about every single song because it was so long and I was just kind of taking it in and there were all these new sounds, and so I don't know. I'm having trouble like remembering what songs I really liked. There was a lot that just felt a little bit different for her, or at least a little bit different than what I expected. And when that's the case, you know, you kind of gotta adapt to it. But I am glad that I checked out this project because there were some songs that I really liked. Vocally, absolutely stunning. Interesting in kind of the whole chemistry concept, like the double sides. Chemistry can be really explosive and bad, or it can be really magical and good, and I think this album did a good job of showing both sides of that. Yeah, it was definitely a mixture of like heartbreak and kind of the more independent, confident songs, and I expected that. I mean, I expected it wouldn't just be depressing the entire way through, especially because I saw how long it was. I was like, there's no way every single song on a 19-song album is depressing. Obviously, I didn't know for sure. I mean, she had every right to be sad for 19 songs. That would have been fine. But I think it was a good mix, like Red Flag Collector. Actually get out with that song. I don't know. I'll have to like take a few listens maybe. But I would say it got really strong around the last quarter or so of this album. I thought was really strong. I want to say from like Rock Hudson onward, those were all really strong for me. I don't remember, but yeah, I really liked some of these songs. I do feel like no one is talking about this album, and that's kind of interesting to me because Kelly is a popular artist. So I don't know why no one's talking about this, but I'm glad that I checked it out. Thank you so much for watching, just for being here. Feel free to like and subscribe. It would really help me out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.